Hello from down here. Welcome. Hi, I'm Yvette. Welcome to my video. Today, I'm going to be touching base on what is Chronicles of Loose-Skin. It's a program that I'm releasing on my website. It's called Chronicles of Loose-Skin, but the website is called www.yvetteBam.com. Links below, as always. And I am making this video on this new YouTube channel of mine because I'm going to be uploading here about the body stuff. It's going to be fun. There's going to be a lot of free content, but over the next 6 months in particular, the main juicy source, the nugget, the gold transmuted glitter of gold will be on my website, YvetteBam.com. So a little bit about me. My name is Yvette, obviously. Yvette Bam. And I lost 150 pounds without loose skin. And the majority of people that hear that are immediately like, she's just lucky. She has fantastic skin genes. No, I don't wear jeans at all. And that's completely false. So there's ways to lose weight in a way that is very encompassing to the body, in a way that is very regulating towards the body, especially if you come from an obese sphere. So I obviously did, having lost 150 pounds and still being like of normal weight. I came from an obese sphere. And there's a very specific method, which I use. And we use a lot of fasting. If you're not into fasting, this program's not for you. But there's a very specific method, and then there's like 10 specific tools. And it's basically, at its core, it's just a process of returning the body into a regulated state. Because a regulated body will not have hordes of loose skin left over. The body is very, very equipped with a lot of processes that help with the regulation of all cells. Skin cells got nothing on the body. Cells in and of themselves are all the time abnormal, and the body all the time kills them off. Like loose skin cells, the body in a regulated state will utilize those for energy consumption. So it's not, and I don't know where like this delusion of culture has gotten us into thinking that it's normal to lose weight and have hordes of loose skin left over. Like we think that is normal to the point of calling someone who has successfully lost 150 pounds without loose skin, we call that person abnormal. And we attribute that to stellar genetics. And we don't realize how convoluted our ideas of weight loss are. And they're not even our ideas of weight loss. They're the ideas that society has subjected onto us throughout our entire lives. So it's not necessarily us that's the problem. It's like this entire sphere, this entire world that has been built just to sell us more things. Just sell. The next program, the next surgery, the next supplement, the next protein powder. Sell. And we have somehow gotten into our minds that the body is not a regulated, God-given, amazing design that can heal naturally and that can be absolutely reverted back to a aligned state. The loose skin equation is not like a simple answered equation. I actually released a program not too long ago, I think like a year ago now. And it's about 9 modules long. It's also on my website if you're interested. It's about 9 modules long, and it tells you the basic premises of the theories that I worked under. But I realized that it's just not enough to tell people the basic premises, because you have to feel all of this in your body. It's not just a simple thing of like, step A is this, step B is this, because too many people look at the body from a very limited point of view, from the view of physicality. Whereas like all of the spheres of the body are warranted and have to be respected and revered in order for the body to return to an aligned state. So I'm not just going to be talking about physicality. It has so much to do with emotions, the emotional sphere, the mental sphere, the spiritual sphere, the physical sphere, and then how all of these spheres interweave with one another. Because when we look at loose skin, oftentimes it's very focused on the abdomen. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason why countless cases are always around the abdomen. But we get into all of that energetics as to why the abdomen is a very important part of the body. It's like right next to our vagus nerve. Like the belly button is the point in which the vagus nerve, you can come closest contact with the vagus nerve, which is a regulatory nerve to our entire nervous system. It's like a super highway nerve that connects our nervous system together and helps regulate us. And the belly button is right next to it. And yeah, I can't go too much into all of the spheres, because this program is designed to take us through step by step, not only addressing the physicality aspect of it. All too often, I think it's like 85% of people, when they lose weight, they accidentally regain it within 2 years because they haven't trained their form. Well, one of two things typically happens. A lot more things can happen. I'm not saying that these are the only things that happen, but the two main things that I see is they haven't trained their form in order to hold the new shape physically. And I'm not saying trained as in physically. I'm talking about they haven't addressed the underlying deviances that has caused them to retain a lot of their weight, usually in the emotional spheres, as a protective mechanism. They haven't addressed that. And the second thing that I see is that people go on low-calorie diets. Stupidest thing you can do. And it's like the number one thing that almost all fitness trainers recommend is to lower your calories to like something ridiculous, like 1,200 a day, which is what a child should be eating. I lost so much weight. And I think at my top peak physical performance, I was like downing 2,500 a day with ease. And it's not about the calorie equation, because as soon as you lower your calories and then you go back to a regulating diet, your metabolism is just so shot that even if you were eating a 1,200 calorie diet for 6 months and then suddenly you're eating a normal amount like 1,800, 2,000, whatever, you're regaining weight. There's nothing you can do at that point without regulating your metabolism. But even through that process, you will regain weight. There's a way to prevent all of that, though. To have like such a deep developed understanding of the body, it takes dedication. It's not something you can read from an article and be like, I want to be that magic sprinky dust and you're that. There's a reason why you have the form you have, whatever that looks like, whether it's skinny form, whether it's a fat form, whether it's an apple form, pear form, whatever it is. There's a reason why you have the form you have, and it's energetic and it's hormonal, and it has to do with your history a lot. And sure, a tiny bit of that can be a sprinkle of genes, but that is not the main hodgepodge, my friends. I have had terrible skin genes. I was filled with stretch marks before puberty, and I was skinny. I had stretch marks. I have them still, but they're just white now. I have stretch marks on my forearms. Like, who gets stretch marks on their forearms? Apparently me. People with bad skin genetics. Nowadays my skin is flawless, as you can tell. I do blush on video, so that happens. But I use Bath & Body, my specifically formulated lotion for all things skin. I actually formulated it specifically for the abdomen, and this looks really shoddy because it's such an old bottle. And I'm actually, the bottle, like this one, no longer exists. It might temporarily still exist at the very beginning of this, when this video is released, but I'm actually launching a new amber bottle soon, because unfortunately this one peels and I did not like that. So I'm launching a totally new bottle soon. But regardless, This formula I specifically formulated for the abdomen to help with like heavy transformative periods, which, you know, if you're losing weight, you're in a period of transformation. And our skin is our largest organ and needs to be very much respected and revered. And that is why we really need to pay attention when we put onto it. But all of these aspects and so much more we go into in Chronicles of Loose-Skin, which is a 6-month, step by step, week by week. I upload everything I know, everything I've researched. We go really deep into not only the mechanics of the body, but the physicality of the body, the emotional body. We do nervous system regulation exercises. We do abdominal lifting exercises that create like a core setting appearance in the abdomen. We do it all of it. Because losing 150 pounds without loose skin in this day and age, when we have so much convoluted things that everyone's trying to tell us, is not an easy task to do. So many people are so deeply misinformed about the body. I recently saw an Instagram video of a very, very famous personal trainer. He's famous for like getting people the booty pop, and he spewed the most garbage nonsense of loose skin while he was training a fat girl that I've ever heard. And I came on the comments, I'm like, this is literally, you were giving the opposite. He was giving very conventional advice, the ones you see in all kinds of, anywhere you look, like, how do I lose weight? Very, very conventional advice that was just completely wrong for people that come from an obese sector. Obesity is relatively new, but luckily there are very old protocols that we utilize in the body, fasting being the main tool of modality. But it also really addresses, it's really hard to explain because it is a main tool that we use, but it's also just like the beginning basic tool. Because there are just so many more things to the body than just, because we're not only interested in having no loose skin, we're interested in persevering. We're interested in not like battling with our weight for the rest of eternity, for the rest of forever and ever. Like, we can't have a piece of chocolate cake at our child's birthday party because mommy's on a diet. You don't want that kind of life for the rest of your life, unless you do, in which case I'm not for you. But if you don't want that kind of life for the rest of your life, if we want to approach the body holistically, regulated, and in a way that is very encompassing and loving, then this program is for you, if that's what you want to do. And yeah, I am distracted right now because I just got a notification. Just excuse me for one moment here, okay? Just, my monkey brain needs to see what's going on. 4 stars. Okay. Lord have mercy on my soul. But yeah, so I'm really excited about Chronicles of Loose-Skin because the first program I released, as I was saying, it was 9 modules long. It's still available for purchase, but I truly feel like an in-depth program is necessary because we can speak about these concepts all we want. And I'll be releasing a lot of free content on this channel, so if you'd just like to join the free journey, be my guest. But we can speak about all of these interrelated energetic concepts all we want, but we really need to begin embodying it. And that comes from the simplicity of the day-to-day. It comes from understanding why we do certain things, and it comes from just reprogramming our entire mental mind towards how we approach the body. And instead of approaching it from this like top-down control sector, we approach it holistically from the bottom up, like a seed, just from a flourishing angle, which does not analyze the body, compress the body, have the body look a certain way in order to be accepted by blah, 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 blah. We are reprogramming all of that. All of those energetic confusions have everything to do with loose skin. Loose skin is not just a simple oh my gosh, I'm gonna go on a 1,200 calorie diet and then I'm gonna get a nip and tuck. Like that is the worst mentality we have, and we see it so prevalent in our culture nowadays. And it's because that doesn't take into account the body as a wholeness sector. One tiny cell in your body that you change affects the entire system. Imagine what loose skin surgery does to cut through all those layers of muscle and skin and fascia, and then to like somehow sew it back together. It's just the most ridiculous, monstrous Frankenstein concept that has come into fruition from individuals that have no understanding of the encompassment of the body as a whole, as a part of nature, as a source that is interrelated with all of its parts. You cannot take one part of the body, alter it, and not expect a cascading hormonal bombardment. There are so many cases of people with loose skin that end up having lymph problems for the rest of their life, but that's like more of the worst case scenario. Usually we just see, I can immediately tell when someone has had any kind of loose skin surgery, tummy tucks, because of the way they walk. Their entire fascia becomes constricted, and their abdomen, their source of personal power, they're like hara dantian, they're literally the closest area to where your freaking nervous system regulation is. A lot of those people, you can just kind of see it in their shoulders, how they hold themselves. And it's outrageous to me that this society is now considering the people who have successfully lost weight without loose skin as being the outliers. I am introducing a completely different vantage point, that this is normal. My results are normal. My results are simply the application of regulating modalities. If you want to know more, join me, evatbam.com, Chronicles of Loose-Skin. If not, just subscribe, because I'll be here when I want to be. And I hope you'll be here too. Until then, my dear new friend, I'll catch you sometime in the perceived future.